Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final race of the season. And this week you've got a bumper packed, we'll go for bumper packed episode of racing, because you've got myself on commentary, and we've also got the fantastic Lord Mark Pendlebury. Do you want to say hello, Mark?
Hello.
There you go.
Hello. 'Tis I, Lord Pendlebury.
Right, well, yes, final race of the season, and it's got close in the championship, lots of battles to decide, and we've decided to take the travelling circus over to Watkins Glen. That's somewhere near New York, I think, if I got my American geography right. And yes, after a very tense and absolutely epic qualifying session, we've ended up with Mr. Dan Slattery on pole. Hopefully up the front there he won't be able to take anyone out. But just behind him, Mark, you qualified in second here, just behind him. Were you disappointed with that?
Yes, I was actually, because I really should have gone for P3, which I think I was in, and I was running my laps later than everyone else. Wanted P3 so I could actually see when he goes, because the single monitor thing, when you're in P2 on a rolling start, you just can't see the person out to the right. So yeah, be prepared for a bad start when we get going.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that's our Lord Mark Pendlebury there shilling for donations for his 3 monitor setup. But yeah, just behind Mark we had Jeff, who was about 4 tenths behind Dan. We then had Jamie, William, just behind him. Behind him we had the fantastic recovering Chris Palmer with James Hurlow. And we've got a newbie here, Mr. JP Paul. He's come in and we'll see how well he's done. And behind him we had Steve, Paul and Axel, with Joshua just ahead of Tuggy, who won't be happy being that far down the pack. And behind them we have Brian and Richie at the back, just waiting for things to happen. Right then, Mark, should we get into the action?
Sounds great, let's go.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, you join us as we start of the race, as a rolling start here. We are trying to make it so that we actually get through a rolling start without a huge incident this time. But we can see here we've got Dan and Mark at the front, and let's see how this goes. Mark,
it looks like
through the first few corners.
Yeah, it looks like a good start there from Slattery. As suspected, Lord Pendlebury has been undone on the inside there. Is that you yourself there, Steve, running a bit wide? I'm not sure.
It was, yeah. I think we had to try and avoid some incidents here.
Yeah.
But we all seem to be getting through the first few corners safely. We're even through the Jeff S's safely there.
We are. Even Jeff, which is a turn up for the books. Looks like everyone's nice and tidy going into the bus stop.
I wouldn't call that tidy, but safe just about, probably. I am impressed by this cow livery here, by the way. I'm not sure if we're allowed to bring out all the puns, as you said on Friday. How dare he?
I was going to say, it looks like he's come as a dairily dunkable.
Anyway, down into is this the toe, the heel, or some part of the shoe?
It's the toe, yes. Heading towards the heel now. So it's been a very calm opening lap.
So you've dropped down to 4th here, Mark. Was it William there?
Yeah, the less mentioned about that the better. Got caught on the outside of turn 1, I believe.
Here we go. Move around the outside here.
Oh, lovely stuff. Oh, race director. Yeah, race director doesn't want to see a good move. God, I tell you what. Nicholson's livery there looks like something you'd find on a palm reader's bedroom wall. That is wacky as anything.
Have you been to many palm readers' bedrooms recently then, Mark?
No, actually, especially not if my wife is listening. She's not going to be listening.
The less said about that, the better, I think.
Yes, likewise. We are on board with the palm reader himself, I think, going off of that wing mirror.
Are you going to make a move here into the bus stop? Are you brave enough?
I'm not. Nah, I pulled out of that one.
Words you've not said before. Anyway.
Oh, lad.
Anyway, with looks like Mark's still trying to pull the moves on Jamie here, and he's pushed him round. We saw that.
Oh no, I'm
look
not
at this
having that.
chaos.
Oh, look! I tell you what, the recovery was nicely from the Lord himself, but yeah, I think we should go back and really work out what happened there. So here we are, looking around the outside of Nicholson. Cuts back inside, decides it's a bad idea, but Nicholson, just on cold tyres, loses it. Rear end, then catches Pendlebury, does a 360 and carries on, but drops down to 7th. Not a good one from Pendlebury there.
I did like how Will just barged his way through there saying, move over.
Oh, that was very amusing.
Right, we jump forward a couple of laps here, and we got Steve chasing down Josh with, I think that's Brian just behind them. Coming down towards turn 1. Is Steve going to make a move here? He dives down the inside, he pulls out of it. And, Josh has gone wide. Steve goes wide as well. Looks like he just about keeps it in though. And Josh...
I'm sure he does.
Through. Oh, wow. What can I say? But yeah, Josh waves him through, and see on board here with Steve's feet. Yeah, blue shoes, bold choice. Anyway, you can see there in the background we've got Brian, and I think that's Tuggy, side by side. We don't want to see that though. Oh yes we do.
Oh no we don't. It's it's livery cam again.
Well, it is a fantastic livery. Just look at that shine, the camo pattern and all sorts.
So we join a gaggle of cars here. Palmer, Paul, Hurlow and Pendlebury. The gaps from 4th through to 7th. They are battling over here.
Can I just say, that's another fantastic livery there.
It's so fantastic that he thought it was himself until just a few seconds ago.
I did. Well, to be fair, I did make the livery a long time ago. I did forget I hadn't put myself in it this time. But anyway, you can see, yeah, nice closing up here. It seems like you're on a recovery drive here in the back of someone there. James, is it?
Yes, it is. It is James. Yep. I seem to recall he was a bit tricky to pass. And I can't remember where I passed him either, but I'm right up his chuff there.
I was going to say, trying to push him up, so I stopped.
Indeed, I am. Apologies, just having a sup of whiskey there.
Wow. If you can't get through these commentaries without a drink, then we are doing something wrong. Anyway, up the chute, or down the chute, whichever way we're going, and then into the toe, is it here? Or is this the, the laces?
Yeah, I suppose it's laces at the moment, then into the toe, then... well, I guess we're now going along the sole. Probably focusing on the wrong thing here.
We might be. It looks like, speaking of toes, it looks like you're trying to stay in the toe of Mr. Hurlow here, so that you don't lose the back. Is your car fully repaired here, or is it still...
No, I didn't jump in for repairs. The car wasn't too bad. I don't think it lost too much pace, but it looks a little bit sad on that right hand side. So it looks like we're on board with JP Poole at the moment. Got Palmer just ahead. You can see in his dash camera there, Pendlebury and Hurlow side by side. Will the race director cut to that? I don't think he will.
You can see there in the TV camera. We just see a glimpse there of them going side by side in the background. By the way, Mark, what does JP stand for? Is it John Paul?
I don't think we actually got any clarity on that. I thought it was just JP.
Oh, so it's not John Paul then?
No,
So,
I mean,
it sounds
disappointing.
Like sounds like a Beatles tribute band.
Yeah. And welcome to Evolution Sim Racing, JP Poole.
By the way, do we have the engine sounds coming through at the
moment? We should do.
Well, if not, I'll make my own engine noise.
Well, there's more than one engine, so if we both go at it, it'd be great. So,
sound like cats.
Oh yes, and back to the race.
By the way, you got through. By the way, when did that happen?
Oh, I did. When did that happen? I don't know. It must have happened in the last half lap or so.
It must have been those engine noises. We just kicked you on a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's well, humans impersonating engine noises are essentially my nitrous oxide. So there we go, up to 6th. No, 5th. 5th. When did that happen? I was in 7th. Have we lost somebody there? We have. Something's happened to Jeff. He's down in 12th. Right, taking a look back here at rank amateur Sharp. Let's see what happened. Rumour has it was unassisted. And this is that's not the camera angle for it, but even from this distance, you could see him absolutely clatter that inside barrier. And that's why Sharp dropped down to 12th, unfortunately for him. He had to come in for repairs after that.
He was saying that the Audi was the safest car until it wasn't.
Safest car, but not for the barrier, unfortunately.
And we join the action here as we've got Dodds being chased by Marriott. Dodds comes round the outer loop. Oh, look at this! Tokyo Drift style there. That Golf livery is absolutely fantastic. Not one of mine, though. But anyway, look, he held up so well there, Mark. I mean, I don't think any of us could have done better.
No, that was a fantastic save. Like, we could be more glowing about it, but as you've rightly pointed out, there's no Evason livery there. It's not one of yours, so catch you later, Brian.
Right, Mark, we've got you jumping in here, trying to slide around the inside of Hurlo. Yeah,
he'd be so lucky.
Anyway. Look at this, diving down the inside here, around turn 10. It hasn't even got a name. It's a bit weird, actually, this course. Is the only name's going to be on the actual shoe bit. Anyway, shoe on the other foot. You seem to be through here.
Indeed, up to 5th, because as we found in our last clip, we lost Jeff to the barrier. So yeah, up to 5th there.
Yeah. Right, through the is this through the chute again and back down towards the toe? You look like you're going to make a move there, but decided not to.
Yeah, from memory, I think just wasn't quite close enough. Not sure what he's packing in that Ferrari, but it's a lot of pace. Well, we can see inside the Ferrari now, and he's packing a lot of buttons.
Well, I guess if you're going to end up upside down, then you need to have a way of turning the car off. But either way, he seems to be going in the right direction this time. Oh, a little bit of a moment there, but he seems to keep it going in the right way.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing feels quite as awkward as when you're doing co-commentary and for whatever reason iRacing decides that your battle is the one to really focus on.
Well, I guess there's no such thing as bad self-promotion there, Mr. Mark Pendlebury, who streams on Kick.
That is quite right, I do stream on Kick, averaging about 0.2 viewers per stream, raking in the big bucks.
Just like that Lego car there, it sounds like you're just about to fall to pieces.
So we can take a look at the track map down there, see if there's anything more exciting going on. There's a battle for 9th and 10th, which is Morris Sharp has been making some progress. He's moved up to 10th from that 12th position he fell down to. Oh, something's gone on. Will Thomas is in the pits by the looks of things. Is he towed?
Let's go and see what happens.
So we're going to forget about Will for the moment. We're just going to have a look at Slattery out in the lead. Coming up to the heel of the boot.
Bit hot there.
And, oh, he is a bit hot. He goes round, and as Dan so often does, but not often enough for my liking this season, he throws away the lead, and Will goes through into first. You might have an inkling of what happens to Will a short while later, but we're going to take a look at that now.
So yeah, just a half a lap later here, we see Mr. Will Thomas on his way to the movies. Enters the bus stop. All he needs to do is keep this in one piece. Oh, he sent it left, he sent it right, and he's gone straight into the cattle pen. And yeah, I think he's going to have to park that one up. Looks a bit shaken now. Should we call that one a milkshake?
Oh, yeah, that was an utterly ridiculous mistake to make there, unfortunately. And beamed back to the pit lane But yeah, that's a ropey looking Lambo there.
It is, and if you look very closely, you can see he's now laid down on the ground to protect his ground from the rain.
I wonder where you're going with that one, but it was actually quite moving in the end.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So here we join the battle for 8th between Morris and Sharp. Sharp all over him like a bad rash. Looks like he might have a decent run out of here going down the chute.
Did you get many good rashes, by the way, Mark?
That's a good point. I'll have to refer to my good rash log, which I don't have on me at this time.
Well, I don't know if you got your good rash log, but it looks like we got one for the good overtake log there by Mr. Jeff.
We do. It's very nice from Jeff there, down the chute, into the toe, round the heel, and that's what he's all about. Jesus Christ, all about.
You gotta leave that one in. We rejoin the battle here as Mark's still chasing down JP here. He's trying to let go. Anyway, down into the chute they come. Chris still leading the way nicely. Oh, that looks a bit hot. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. He's saved it. He hasn't. And he's took out Hurlo there in the background. Chris doing his best to take 2 people out on one date as normal.
Lad. Absolute
lad. But anyway, that still leaves you chasing down Mr. JP in the Lego car.
It does, and now, like, with very minimal effort, it's become a battle for second. So here we are on board with Mr. Hurlo. Poor unfortunate victim here. We can we can see, oh no, could see Palmer there, spinning, nowhere to go. Disaster there.
It's a good set of Pirellis on that car there.
I was going to say, it was nice seeing the alloys when he really slowed down there. Yeah, lovely tyre and alloy shot here. Probably end it now though. There's only so long we can stay with it. Ooh, Sharps dive into the inside. I had no idea that was so much of a hill until that camera angle suggested so.
I didn't realise it was Mount Watkins Glen.
Yeah, look at it. Jesus Christ. We going racing or are we summiting Everest?
I'm not sure. Is it hillier than your local area up there in the locks?
Well, no, but surrounding the castle are a great many mountains.
And Mercedes, I'm sure.
Yes, all climbing those mountains, dragging up an Audi R8 behind them.
Right, as they dive down to turn 1, is Jeff going to make a move here? Or is Axel going to position his car perfectly still? He's surely going to get a run here though, up the Jeff S's.
He's got form here, Jeff, but he does it. Gets it done midway through the S's. Very nicely done. Is Axel going to come back at him up to the bus stop though?
Well, you see, I've got a bit of insider information here, Mark. I could tell you that Axel was actually struggling for fuel, so he kind of let Jeff go. So not to pee on his bonfire too much, but yes, there's some steam coming off there.
We're also focusing entirely on Jeff here.
Well, I mean, it is a very car-like car, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's got the 4 wheels. It's a classic car configuration, that. Bright lights at the front.
See in the background there, a fantastic move as Axel lets me go past.
The race director says, no, we're not going to see that in any way, shape or form, not even in the background, because we're going to cut to the Jeff going through the Jeff S's.
Well, there's always chance of something happening when Jeff goes through the Jeff S's, so, I mean, it's not too much of a bad idea.
That is very true.
Oh, we just ran him over.
Yeah, he's had form with that barrier. Incident. Oh. Who's that?
That's Richie.
That's Richie. Oh, that's Dan in the pits.
Oh, that's Tuggy.
That's we've
We
missed a
all
lot
this.
apparently.
Just watching Jeff.
Right, okay, let's find Dan first.
So here's Mr. Slattery, our leader here. He's got back in the front somehow. Anyway, going up to the bus stop. Lambo's going places. And it's got there.
Nowhere good.
No.
Let's see. I think he got all four wheels off the ground there.
He did, but luckily he parked right next to the pickup truck there, which could transport him to the pits just like that.
And we can see him in the pits just there. Well, that's another leader from this race that's thrown away that lead, and Slattery for the second time.
We have Mr. Anthony Marriott here coming to the second last corner. He tries to drift it round, gets it wrong, and he's going backwards. That McLaren is known for being a bit unpredictable.
Yep, that's turned around on him. We can't call him Brian Dodd, because Brian Dodd would have held it.
He would have. He'd also been able to tell you how many corners are on each oval in the US.
It would. It's great to have that inside US knowledge that Brian provides. And now we've got a lovely view of the graphically challenged spectators, should we call them?
I'm quite impressed there that they've left such a big gap, like old COVID rules, and they're taking pictures of the back of the tents.
I know, it's exciting times behind the pit lane for those spectators.
And even more exciting, here we've got the standoff between the lollipop man and the car in front.
I mean, we've seen him lose it, but I'm going to back Tuggy in this one. I don't think he's going to do much with that lollipop.
Maybe we should come back to this battle later.
Potentially.
Here's Richie in his 1970s Ford Mustang coming through the bus stop. That wing looks a bit second-hand as well as the rest of the car.
It looks like someone from Fat Fighters has had a sit on that, doesn't it?
It does, and he slid off there, and
he's
just like all owners of Ford Cortinas, he's trying to do a 15-point turn in a shopping lot.
Did he reverse into that barrier to try and straighten the wing, or was he just really trying to go for that smooth S shape?
Well, to be fair to Richie, he was the only driver who turned up to stay with a back wing with lift instead of drag.
Yeah.
Yes, that did make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does explain why his rear wing... I mean, it could be his tribute to the Jeff S's. It's a very similar shape.
It is, and just like the Jeff S's, it's seen more action than... No, that's part of this.
Oh, right, next incident. What's going on? Oh, it's Richie again.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, no, that is a smashed up Ford Cortina.
Oh, but it still keeps on going. Oh, hello, what's going on there?
Oh, Brian just sees him on his way there, says, see you later, mate, can't park there.
Yeah, Brian taking a swipe. Oh, looks like Richie limping back to the pits now, potentially.
That Ford Fiesta has seen better days.
Oh, you say Ford Fiesta? I thought it was a Ford Cougar.
Is that a Ford Cougar or a Ford Cougar?
Oh, well. We should probably park that one as well. Next incident. We're,
Oh, Mr. Nicholson. Oh, he's gone a bit too hot into the chute, or is it the... Yeah, it's done chute.
It's coming out. It's the lower end of the chute where it gets really dirty down there.
No one wants to be there, no.
I tell you what, I don't want to throw shade here, but Slattery this season has done a good job of nipping his spinning in the bud, but Nicholson over the last couple of race weekends seems to be taking up the mantle a bit. I'm definitely not mentioning it because twice in this meeting I came a cropper of his spinning, as we'll see in the second race as well. Anyway, this isn't a Jamie Nicholson hate video.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel really passionate about this. Fucking hell, Jamie, stop spinning!
I was so hoping he spot it then on that last corner. He did that. But anyway,
it would have been great.
comedic timing aside, I think that was that the checkered flag or the white flag?
Well, it's the white flag, but I'm finding on the replays that the white flag is... Well, somebody's coming out the pit, so they don't think it's over. But yeah, the white flag seems... Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't have any... Oh no, this is the last lap for these guys. The leaders have crossed the line. Where's the next incident? Ah, it's a tree. Well, we should probably go back.
Would you believe it?
God, I tell you what, I wouldn't have put the term professional against any of my previous videos, but this one is, I feel that we could certainly attribute the word professional to it.
Right then, to wrap things up on this race one, because we've been recording for 3.5 hours now, we had Mr. JP Poole with the win, and yes, people were behind him.
Okay, is it not a high enough definition for you to read through the results?
I'm afraid not, so I have to. That's my colleague here.
Let me take over. A frustrated Pendlebury came home second, couldn't deal with that Ferrari's straight line speed. We then had Chris Palmer in third with Jeff Sharp in fourth. An excellent recovery drive from Sharp there, considering his early excursions into the barriers. We then had Steve Evason in fifth with Axel Edwards in sixth. Brian Dodd with an excellent result in seventh. James Hurlow came home eighth, and Dan Slattery, after his spin and tow, came home ninth. The equally spin-prone Jamie Nicholson came home 10th for the final point, with Paul Nicholson in 11th, Will Thomas in 12th, Josh Morris was 13th, Richie Bowen was 14th, and rounding out the results was Anthony Tuggy Marriott in 15th.
And we'll see you all for race 2 in a minute, where it's all going down to the wire for the battle for 4th place, with Mr. James Hurlow now 2 points behind Steve Evason, and Tuggy another 10 points behind him, so it's all to play for.
Hello and welcome back to the feature race and the final race of the season, reverse grid based on championship position. So let's see how guest delivery goes today. We have JP Poole. I'm not going to forget that one because I was stuck behind it all of race 1. He's starting in first with the number 14 car of Paul Nicholson, yeah, there it is. Paul Nicholson, and then that would be Chris Palmer. Yeah. Sorry, Chris, but I couldn't remember your name then. I was like, it's not Steve because Steve's higher up in the championship. Like, oh, there we go, alienating people and warming Steve to me there. But yes, that is bloody hell, I've forgotten your name again. I'm a beer and a whiskey in. I am sorry, I've forgotten your name again, Chris. Chris Palmer in third. Then, oh god, who's that?
Will Thomas, followed by Axel.
Oh, Will Thomas followed by... Will Thomas has changed his livery in car. That's not on. That's thrown me. Who's in the green one? The Kermit, the demented Kermit looking thing.
I'm not sure. What car is that?
I don't know, it's another Merc. So
another Merc.
Axel, is it Axel? Oh, it could be Richie. Oh, I'll tell you what, guest delivery has not gone well today.
It gets easier from here.
It does, because the Palm Reader Nicholson in his psychedelic 60s livery is next with James Hurlow alongside. We then have Steve Evason with Jeff Sharp, then Lord Pendlebury, Dan Slattery, and Brian Dodd. Is that at the back? I believe so.
It's Josh at the back, isn't it?
Oh, it's Josh at the back. So where's Brian? Did Brian not race in this one? No, Brian didn't race in this one by the looks.
He missed the start, didn't he, and then gave up.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
He will miss the start, then give up. The pace car gets a great getaway.
I know, it's faster than everybody else. Puffs of smoke from everyone before the traction control kicks in.
Did you know that Audi won Daytona earlier this season?
I did not.
I did.
Tell me about it.
It was a fantastic win. We decided to make a shiny version as a commemorative, whatever that word is.
Commemorative. Oh God, I can't say it either.
Exactly.
Commemorative.
And the worst thing is I haven't even been drinking. But yes, one Daytona at the start of the season. Fantastic result. Anyway, they're off, and the Lego car is underway.
Demented Kermit took a swipe there at Palmer. Oh, 3 wide. This isn't going to end well.
They dive into turn 1, and Kermit's lost it. Oh, miss off Froggy. Piggy, not Froggy.
There we go. Kermit goes round again.
Who's that who went off in the barrier there in the background?
I don't know. Oh, it might be Morris going off of the standings on the left-hand side. I don't think they've updated. No, it was Will Thomas.
I thought it was Will Thomas we were watching spin in the first place. Anyway, off we go into the bus stop. All looks clean so far, and there's some Top Gear livery shenanigans going on there.
Slattery got into the back.
Oh, he's lost it. Oh, that's going to hurt. No, we don't want to see the aftermath. That would be just too horrific.
It is almost like iRacing is censoring the crashes for us, just in case we find them too upsetting.
Well, our younger viewers will understand. Anyway, Jamie Nicholson in his Palm Reader bedroom livery, chasing down Mr. Chris Hand Palmer.
The standing has gone all over the place there. Not sure what's happened.
Here that technology is letting the commentating team, that's a word,
Are you sure you've not been drinking?
Oh, no, but the 16 lines of cocaine are keeping me awake. Anyway. And, towards the end of the first lap they come into turn 10, and it looks like we've got JP in the lead and Chris followed by Jamie, and is that Axel in 4th?
No, it's James. Oh no, it is. No, it's the technology is still letting me down. You're right, it is Axel.
Oh, Jamie's going to make a move here on Chris, is he? No, he backs out. He just has not got the cojones to stick his nose in there.
Oh, Nicholson has really come in for a rinsing today. First about his spinning and now questioning his manhood.
All in a day's work.
He has got some teeth on the side of that livery though, hasn't he?
He has. Go see a dentist about that. Through the bus stop they come in. Will this one be a bit cleaner? It looks that way.
Does indeed. It looks like everybody's got through there nice and cleanly.
I mean, we're halfway through lap 2 here, and we haven't mentioned Jeff Sharp yet.
That's I tell you, and that's not on really, because I'm sure he's looking for us to compliment him on getting through the Jeff S's twice without incident. So, well done, Jeff. Good job.
But anyway, here comes Jeff Sharp diving down the inside.
Oh, gets that moved on nicely.
Through there.
Oh no, I did. I was like, there's no way I can let Sharp get away from me. So followed him through.
To the point there, I like it. Oh, it looks like I was side by side with Mr. Slasher in the background as well.
Oh, so you were. We have to go back and take a look at that.
No, it wasn't that exciting. Into the bus stop they come, and you're making your move on Axel.
Oh, some more censorship. We work hard for our 0+ rating on this stream.
Through the heel they come and into the, I guess we'll call this the back of the leg.
The calf crawler.
And up the thigh and into the...
Oh.
And through the rectum they come.
Oh well, there goes our younger audience.
But look at the front three there, they're separated by 5 car widths.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, and Chris is making a move for the lead.
Is it all clean?
Oh,
we've lost a car. He's
got
there he is.
Just
is he going to get a slowdown?
Will that be a slowdown there, or is he back on the track in time? Anyway, it looks like they're side by side going up the Jeff S's.
Let's focus on Hurlo, who's behind the battle.
Wow, we always want to see the third most exciting car in every battle. The right gaggle here is all 5 cars trying to make their way through at the same time. No, there's 6 cars, I can't count.
Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there are 6. I'm impressed that I counted 6.
Just let it go, mate. Let go.
Have you been watching Frozen?
Making a move on JP here. Oh, JP's gone wide. Is that going to allow Sharp and Pendlebury through? Oh, and Pendlebury's gone, and he's back. He's just been kicked.
Just call me Paul Daniels.
Not Jack Daniels. Down the arch of the foot, they come back up to the heel, and it looks like Sharp's going to stick it into Hurlo.
Hurlo says, "At least buy me a drink first."
And Pendlebury's there in the background saying, "I've got servants for this."
Hurlo's gone a bit defensive.
Up to turn 10 has given it its official name, and yeah, through to the last corner.
Turn 11 to give it its official name. It's like they really got bored. They're like, "Oh, that looks like a boot," and got really excited.
I just noticed they haven't named or labelled the bus stop corners, so there's actually more than 11 corners on this track. Wouldn't be an American track without some kind of confused 11 corners, would it? Anyway, we've got a good battle here from the, it's actually a front 9, I believe, as there's Axel and Steve just there in the background too.
Yeah, this has been a cracking race so far. We haven't even skipped through to the next incident at this point, and we're nearly 10 minutes in.
Oh, look, they're side by side for the lead, and Nicholson sends it through.
Nicholson has got it, but for whatever reason, iRacing's director says no.
If only we had a third person to control the camera for us.
God, where did you go, Sharp? Well, we're gonna have to go back and have a look. can't have an overtake for the lead without it being seen.
So up the GFSs they go, and they're already battling side by side. You can see anything happen here, Mark. But what did happen?
Well, it looks like Jamie slid to the inside. How did they go through the bus stop?
Well, Chris was very submissive there.
He was. Jamie Nicholson asserting his dominance. It must have been those teeth.
To be fair, if you saw those gnashes coming towards you, you'd probably get out of the way too.
That is a fair point. I tried in the first race when he was spinning, but unfortunately I went straight in the mouth.
And we can see here Sharp and Hurlo side by side with Pendlebury waiting to pounce. Oh, and then side by side in the background as well. And Pendlebury's blinked again.
What was going on with my internet connection?
Looks like Slattery and JP are side by side there in the background for a second as well. Lots of good racing going on here. Awful commentary, but great racing.
Oh, Pendlebury's going to try and bully his way up the inside of Hurlo as well.
Oh, is that going to be 2 places lost in one corner for Hurlo? It is.
It's a shame for Hurlo there, and he's got Slattery breathing down his neck. The inside line here was Pendlebury was scared shitless of Slattery coming through. Knew he had the pace, wanted to get away. Ooh, just noticed that Hurlo doesn't have his lights on, but Slattery does. I haven't configured my controls to do such a thing, to turn your lights on and off. All I can do is flash. So, not in that way. Never mind, moving on. Good battle.
And R18 rating comes under threat again. Up towards the bus stop they come from the GFSs, and it looks like Pendlebury's going to try and send it around the outside of Sharpedo here. That's the Sharpedo, not anything else that may have come from that sentence.
Pendlebury seems to have lost a fair amount of time to Sharp by taking a different... And he's disappeared again. This is amateurish from the Lord. You'd have thought he could... Oh, is that... Oh, it is! There's a surprise!
Oh, we saw that coming, didn't we? Go on then, let's take a look at that.
So here we are, on board with Pendlebury. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, this is commentators... oh, look, you just sent it through there. You were not stopping for anyone, were you?
Yeah, it was... yeah, not good. And Sharp, inside line again. Sharp also took a hefty whack of damage there. Didn't look it.
Right, and as you can see here, the limping Pendleburys, that's the name of the band, on the outside here, as Hurlo sends it on the inside, and Hurlo with the undamaged car is probably going to get a run here, is he? No, I'm talking rubbish. No, I'm not. He's through. You can see in the background there the gaggle of Axel, Evason, and what's that? Slattery.
Another band name there. Oh. It's going to be interesting to see what happens after Sharp and Pendlebury picked up that damage. Will they need to jump into the pits? Quite potentially. I've just realised I'm not on most exciting. There we go.
I am now excited as both Sharp and Pendlebury dive in. And Axel's in second place here with Mr. Slattery diving down the inside of turn 1.
Oh, it's a lovely move.
But Evason, as always, is more exciting.
With liveries like that, it doesn't get more exciting.
Through the GFS as they come and up towards the bus stop. Now, will Axel try and make a move back on Mr. Slattery? Oh, a little nobble there.
That could have ended dramatically, but it didn't though.
A bit like snooker. Now will Mr. Steve Evason be able to get on the back of Edwards here and make a pass? Through the chute and down towards the heel toe complex. Oh, Steve on the outside. Will Axel hold it on the inside? It looks that way. Will Steve get the switch back, or will Mr. William Thomas make his way through?
Demented Kermit looks like he's going to be making a dive up the inside. He's got a decent run. But
no, Miss Piggy, Steve says, and he dives down the inside to keep up.
Some good racing from these three, all over each other.
A bit like that good rash you had in the first race. There's a little bit of contact there.
That's we heard that from our vantage position.
There's no better way to say hello than stick your nose straight up the rear end of another vehicle.
So the dogs would certainly agree.
And here's Thomas running around the outside into the bus stop. Now will Steve hold the line, or will one of them back out? No, Steve's backed out. Down they come into the hill, and Axel covers the inside line, just parks on the apex, and Will's got nowhere to get round in there. Will he make a move into the hairpin? No, he dives down the inside. Will Axel get a run? No, he's backed out there. Very well held on the inside there by Mr. Will Thomas.
Yeah, excellent late move there. Caught Edwards unaware. Oh, and Edwards has gone out wide there.
At what point on the track do you reckon that these cars turn off their lights, Mark?
At what point on the track do they turn off their lights?
Well, you know, what time of day or...
what time of day? Well, it depends really. I mean, I know we've got a lot of cars these days that have sensors, and you can change those sensors to be more light sensitive and dark sensitive. I would say that we're going to pursue this one. We will.
I'm more interested now. Can you tell me what a dark sensitive sensor is?
Could you tell I was filling for time there? Like light and dark sensitive. Essentially, the sensor will react to how much daylight there is, or how little daylight there is. A dark sensor, if you will. It would certainly seem that it's almost as if that was meant to be, because I was going to talk about the light sensors on these cars, because they're both Lamborghinis. One has lights on, one does not. So that suggests that Slattery's got a slightly higher sensitivity on his lights.
Well, the good news is we don't need to talk about this any longer, as Steve and Axel are side by side going into the heel. Now, who's going to be last of the late breakers, or first of the early breakers? Steve Steve sends it down the inside. They go side by side. This is beautiful racing. No, we're going to give up. Oh no, look, something's happening.
Back to the light sensors conversation.
Oh, we can see here, is this Josh and Jeff and Mark all side by side, left and right, front and back. They are all over each other.
Just like that good rash from the first race. Oh,
exactly, and Josh has tapped out here and he's let the feuding duo of Pendlebury and Sharp through, and up the Jeff S's, named after Mr. Jeff Sharp.
So here is Axel's throaty beast.
Looks very throaty here, and he's gone slippery and slidey, and ooh, that's a new front end there. Well,
yeah,
one that's needed.
Hit that hard. And back to the pit lane. No standoff this time between someone with a lollipop and a car, so we'll step away from the pits.
And at the 6th temp of recording, here we have Nicholson chasing down Morris. Through turn 1 they go, and into the entry of the Jeff S's.
I'll tell you what, those colour schemes, they're so close, it looks like butterflies mating. Because I know what that looks like.
I'd say the less we talk about Mark's hobbies here, and the more we talk about this fantastic racing as Nicholson dives down the inside into the bus stop.
Oh, big puff of smoke out front. Not sure what's gone on there. Right. So, results for that race. James Hurlow takes his first win of the season, and what a time to do it, securing that 4th place in the championship. Will Thomas continues his excellent form by finishing 2nd, getting yet another podium. One can't wait to see how he does in a full season. We then have Pendlebury in 3rd, with Evason holding off Sharp in 5th. Chris Palmer came home 6th, with Jamie Nicholson in 7th. Paul Nicholson came home in 8th, with Josh Morris in 9th, and Dan Slattery rounded out the top 10. We then had JP Paul in 11th, Axel in 12th, Richie Bowen in 13th, and Brian Dodd in 14th. And as ever, I can't remember who didn't race in this race, but did race in the first one, so we'll pretend they don't exist.
And we're ever so sorry about that, Tuggy, but here is the final championship standing.
Oh, sorry, Tuggy. Right, let me quick. Oh no, I haven't done the. Oh yeah, I have done the standings. Where are the standings?
That's alright, just put the picture on afterwards.
Yeah, good shout.
Right, well, hopefully Mark can cut this copy everything out properly, so let's start again. And here is the championship standings, including everyone who did do both races. So, yes, after a fantastic first 14 races of the season and a terrible last 2 races of the season, Mr. Dan Slattery ends up on 378 points with his 7 wins. In 2nd place, Mr. Mark Pendlebury, our Lord, our Saviour, comes in 2nd place with 350. Just behind, well, a long way behind them, pretty much adrift, but in his own world, is Mr. Jeff Sharp with 286 points.
What are you doing back there, Jeff?
I see. He's hoping for better next season.
Well, that's my bad. I shoved him off at Summit Point.
There you go. That is proof of wrongdoing there. Anyway, the battle for 4th stayed hot until the end, and Mr. James Hurlow was able to bring it home with his maiden win of the season with the last race, and he ends up on 178 points ahead of Stephen Evason at 165 points. The battle for 4th ended up being a little bit too hot for Anthony Marriott and Jamie Nicholson in the end, and they end up in 6th and 7th. And behind them is the ever improving William Thomas, who I believe every race he started, other than the ovals, he ended up with a podium. So look out for him next season. Behind him we have Axel with 84 points, Chris with 56 points, with Richie 3 points behind him on 53. I believe Chris did call out Richie in the last race and said, "Thank you very much for retiring, I enjoy my top 10. Anyway, just behind them we have a close battle for 12 as Josh pips Paul for 42 to 41 points. And in 14th we have Brian with 33. JP Paul with his 2 races ends up on 25 points. And behind them we have Chris on 22. And the fantastic Travis, who I believe only did 1 race, started 5th, finished 12th, and ends on 0 points. It's been an absolutely fantastic season, full of ups and downs, spills and spins, and that is just from our first place finisher, Dan Slattery. Hope to see you next time. Thank you very much.